Okay, after finish these two line, then define your library. You see two line here. This two line is not practical actually, because you put it as a comment. You can see this two dash means comment. If I remove this two, it means that we this line included to our project, but we don't need this one, so we use two dash. I'll just put these two line to learn you how you can make a comment, or how you can define a comment for your project. And like a high level programming language C, when you comment something, it means that it's not in our compilation, and it's just for your information. So it's not useful actually for your compilation, because the compiler cannot see these two line and jump from this line to this line. Okay, after that you should write your entity. Then I named my entity lab5, because this is for the lab sheet number 5, and you should set this name as well. So be careful about the lab entity name. Lab5 is the name of my project, the same. Lab5, lab5, and lab5. Okay, we define our entity here. Entity and is the entity and is our keyword, so we cannot change them. We just name it our entity lab5, and here our entity will be finished with the keyword and here we must define our port. As you know, A0, A1, B0, and B1 is our input, so we write in, and the type of our inputs are STD logic, and C0, C1, and C3 is our output, and the type of our output is STD logic. So this is the type of our input, the type of our output, and this is direction input, and they are output, and here you should use the comma between them and this symbol, and don't forget to use the semicolon at the end of the code. And also here you finish and end your entity with the keyword and the name of entity. Here you must define your architecture. The name of your architecture is behavioral, and you can see the name of the architecture here must be the same as here. So up to here to here, your actually your architecture will finish. And don't worry that this architecture is a part of the lab5, so this architecture must be the part of your entity. You can see when I click on it on lab5, these two will be bold, and you can find that this architecture is a part of the entity lab5. So architecture of and is are the keyword, and you cannot change them, so you just can change the name. You can name it as you like, and this must be the same as your entity name. And here between the begin and end you should write your code. It's like a previous one. You should use the AND gate. You can use the NOT gate. You can see the NOT gate. You will use the OR gate, and also the another. Okay, we don't have any new gate, and this is the symbol of the assign. At first we AND A0 and B0 and assign it to C0, and here we not the A1, and for example not the B0 and not the B1, and them with each other, and finally OR them with each other. And at the end of each one we use the semicolon. And here for example for the C2 we use the assign symbol, and A1 and B1 and not of B0, and also we have and here and not here, and we use one OR gate here, and we assign all of them to the C2, and the same for the C3, A1 and to A0 and to B1 and to B0, and we assign it to the C3. You can find different equation actually, it's up to you, but this equation worked well, and we ended with the end and the name of our architecture. Okay, let me go to the compilation. Here actually at first you should save it, but I saved it before, that's why we don't need to save it. But